the city of Chicago, already bracing for intensified immigration enforcement, found itself the target of large-scale federal raids, according to a Sunday report. This action comes just days after the incoming border czar, Tom Homan, announced a reassessment of enforcement strategies following a leak to the media. The Chicago Tribune, citing unnamed sources, reported that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE), collaborating with federal partners including the FBI, ATF, CBP, and the U.S. Marshals Service, launched enhanced targeted operations within the city. However, the Tribune provided minimal specifics regarding the scope, targets, or outcomes of these operations. The deployment of these enhanced operations in Chicago underscores the Trump administration's escalating efforts to reverse the immigration policies implemented during the Biden administration. Chicago, explicitly identified by Trump officials as a focal point for intensified enforcement actions, has been gripped by anxiety and uncertainty in the days leading up to the raids. The significant undocumented immigrant population within the city, estimated at approximately 400,000, is believed to have largely remained indoors, fearful of encountering federal law enforcement. This widespread apprehension highlights the profound impact of the administration's aggressive immigration stance on the lives and well-being of undocumented individuals and their families. The Trump administration's recent actions stem from a series of executive orders aimed at dismantling Biden-era immigration policies. The declaration of a state of emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border further empowers federal agencies to intensify law enforcement activities, encompassing deportations targeting individuals deemed national security threats. This broad definition of national security threat has raised concerns about potential overreach and the targeting of individuals without sufficient due process. The lack of transparency surrounding the criteria for designation adds to the anxieties within affected communities. The intensified immigration enforcement has ignited international tensions. Colombian President Gustavo Petro publicly declared that his country would refuse to accept deportation flights from the United States unless the Trump administration establishes a process ensuring dignified and respectful treatment of Colombian migrants. This refusal has prompted a strong reaction from former President Trump, who took to Truth Social to express his outrage. He characterized Petro's decision as jeopardizing national security and public safety, vowing immediate retaliatory measures. The specific nature of these retaliatory measures remains undisclosed, but the statement underscores the escalating tension between the two nations. The situation in Chicago serves as a stark illustration of the Trump administration's hardline immigration approach. The lack of detailed information surrounding the raids, coupled with the administration's aggressive rhetoric and actions, has fueled concerns about potential human rights violations and the erosion of due process. The ongoing uncertainty underscores the significant challenges facing undocumented individuals in the United States and highlights the complex geopolitical implications of the Trump administration's immigration policies. The heightened tension between the U.S. and Colombia further complicates the already precarious situation, raising questions about the long-term consequences of these actions and the potential for further escalation. The widespread apprehension felt within Chicago's immigrant community reflects the deep-seated anxieties surrounding the administration's unpredictable and forceful tactics. The future remains uncertain, but the current climate of fear and uncertainty is undeniable. The lack of transparency surrounding the operations adds to the existing apprehension and raises concerns about the potential for abuse of power. The unfolding events in Chicago and the broader implications for U.S. immigration policy demand close scrutiny and careful consideration of the ethical and legal ramifications. The international ramifications, as evidenced by Colombia's refusal to accept deportation flights, further underscore the complex and far-reaching consequences of the Trump administration's approach to immigration enforcement. The situation continues to evolve, with the potential for further developments and escalating tensions.